The Baylor Bears are trying to get to bowl eligibility here in the final 4 games of the season, but our slate to close the year is not going to be easy. We got TCU up first. We'll be taking on an undefeated, unstoppable Arch Manning, and we got also a ranked Kansas State team in the mix to close the season along with UTSA. It's a rough stretch to close the year, but we start things off on the road against arguably our biggest rivals in TCU, who have had our number for many years. TCU smacked us around last year, and on top of that, they have won 8 straight games against the Bears. We need 2 more wins on our final 4 to get to bowl eligibility, as Josh Beckett on the first play will have a flag down. And this is a familiar sight for Bears fans, seeing Ebeselli get a holding call and setting us back. And it's going to really derail the drive here, as now it's 3rd down and long. And the pass is going to be caught by Michael Trigg on the diving grab. The ball placement, not anything spectacular, but the catch definitely was. A sack here is going to set us back. 3rd down and almost 20. Beckett, clean pocket, but he's got to wait for something to develop. Nothing got open. Hit as he's thrown. The ball will be sent to TCU, who has it on a bubble screen here for a first down into Baylor territory very early on in their possession. Man in motion, play action. It's going to be the quarterback, Josh Hoover, getting sacked here. And the Baylor pass rush trying to turn things up here, as the defense needs a lot of help to stop their ground attack that has really destroyed the Bears in the recent 4 games. They've allowed over 600 yards to starting running backs in the last 4 games. And now our running back, Tavoris Jones, trying to get going with a first down run here. 45-yard line. Josh Beckett to throw. He's on the move. He's on the run, throwing. And that's a dangerous ball, and it's going to be intercepted. And he tried to make a special play, but not every play is going to be a highlight reel one. Hoover on the play action. Back shoulder, comeback route. And he's got it for the first down. 43-yard line, and Hoover with the play action, picking up the block as the running back, and they got a nice play there. The running back picking up the blitz and allowing Hoover to deliver, and he drops the throw once more, and that's going to be intercepted, and it's the first of the career of Logan Intersocken, the 4-star corner freshman is on the run, and he is gone. When Tevin Williams transferred, we were hesitant, but we trusted Logan Intersocken to step in the nickel and be a great player for us early on, and that's the greatest play in his young career to give Baylor a 7-0 lead. Now 3rd down for Hoover. He's got time in the pocket, but he's got an open man and dropping it. And now Baylor taking over, and that is a disastrous start for the TCU offense, as there goes Tavoris Jones for a nice play. And now at the 48-yard line, play action. It's going to be Beckett throwing up top. Flag on the play. He had a man. He had him. But it's going to not matter. It's another holding call, which has really seemed to be an issue for Baylor as the season progresses. 3rd down and 12 now, as Beckett is going to tuck in and he's going to run it. Trying to get to the first down marker. He breaks a tackle, but not quite there. But in enemy territory, 4th down and relatively short. You go for it here. The blitz off the edge is picked up, and it allows Richard Reese to get open underneath, and just enough for the first down. Good job by the right tackle, Spencer Fano, to pick things up. And now Beckett throwing. He's got him, and Bonner can't hang on. Wasn't an easy grab, but one you expect to make here, as Tavoris Jones is running it very well on this first half. Now it's going to be little play action motion off as Beckett rolling right. He's going to dump it down. Tavoris Jones now getting going in the receiving game. Goal to go for Baylor. It's going to be another man in motion, but a handoff. Jones and the steamroll from Robinson opens the lane. Baylor up 14-0, and things are looking phenomenal for this Baylor team on offense, on defense. So now 3rd down and long. Can Hoover get something going for this TCU team? Hit as he's thrown, though. It's incomplete. 4th and 3 and outs like that's going to give you good field position, but when you have good field position, you got to capitalize, and you can't give the football away, especially not up by 2 scores when you got all the momentum on your side. And Beckett throws his 2nd of the first half. He had gotten better with his interception issues to start his career, but they seem to be flaring up a little bit. But Baylor's got it to 4th down and goal, and TCU, what do they got to lose right now? They hand it off, and that's going to be a touchdown TCU. Jeremy Payne, the running back, is going to punch it in, but Baylor now 14-7, and they can't get anything going. It's going to be a 3 and out, and now TCU winning the field possession game. They're going to throw outside, and going to be caught in traffic for the first down. TCU's got some momentum on their side now, handing it off to Payne. Payne, who's got an open lane, and it's gonna be a big-time chunk run, something we're used to from this Baylor defense, but it's been better in this first half so far. But now underneath, Payne's got it for the first down and goal. Make it second and goal now, as Hoover with the speed option. He's gonna pitch it out, and Hoover held the ball to the very last second, and TCU now tying the game just like that with under 2 to play in this first half. Tavoris Jones on the handoff, and that's another 10-yard run. He's gotten a number of those this game, and he's had so far his best start to a game in his Baylor career. And now Michael Trigg over the middle, and he's going to run after the catch for a big-time gain. Now in the red zone, third down, Baylor is going to throw it and step it up for Michael Trigg, and that's a touchdown, Baylor. And that's a great response after TCU's 14 unanswered. We do answer, and it's going to be 21-14. Little time to go in this first half. Handing it off now, TCU maybe just trying to get to halftime. Baylor's going to get a stop, burn a timeout here, and the punt is going to be away. Bonner back to return. He had the drop earlier, but now he's going to field it left and go break a tackle. And Bonner now going to cut back right. And there goes Bonner. Does he got the speed to get to the edge? Yes, he does. And Bonner is gone. The speed on display. He's making everybody disappear. And Baylor's got a touchdown on the special teams unit. TCU not knowing what hit him here. Second half is underway with Baylor getting the pressure. Sack. Fumble picked up, and Pemba forced it. Evans recovers, and Baylor all of a sudden is just unloading on this TCU team in every phase of the game. Beckett rolling, throwing, caught, touchdown, and that's Tyree Dobbins, the freshman connection, and 21 points in just a handful of minutes out of nowhere from this Baylor team, and it's gonna keep on going. Avante Dickerson pick 6. 28 points in just a matter of moments, and just like that, it is going to be 42-14, and TCU doesn't know what hit them. It just happened so fast. Special teams, defense, offense, every phase of the game scoring, and Baylor now is trying to shake off that 8-game losing streak to TCU, and they are in better position than ever. All you gotta do is just be safe with the football and rely on what has been a spectacular ground game from Tavoris Jones. Looking for a 100-yard game. He is getting closer. Beckett moving the chains once more on third down, getting him on the move, and there's Bonner for the first down. Baylor in their clock control offense. It's going to be Beckett on third down, rolling. This drive started with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they're going to take it for a first down. Now into the fourth quarter, Richard Reese with the handoff. He's got another chunk run for this Baylor rushing attack, and Bennett now is in the game at quarterback. Beckett just kind of taking a rest right now. He's going to throw out of bounds, but we're in control. We're doing fine, and we're kicking a field goal to pad onto this lead a little bit more. TCU at this point, they've been dinking and dunking their way down the field. They're going to get into the end zone, but ultimately, that's going to do it. An onslaught of 28 points in the matter of just a couple of plays, it feels like. Baylor ends the losing streak. They got their 5th win of the season, and that's how you do it. You go, you get a big lead, and then you go and take 6 minutes off the clock in a long, grinding out possession. You put on a field goal, and sure, let TCU dink and dunk their way down the field and get a little garbage time touchdown, but as long as that clock was continuing to run, it was a very fast-moving second half, and once Baylor got a lead, they didn't even come close to relinquishing it in that second half, as Tavoris Jones has a 100-yard game. The ground attack was spectacular. The defense, I mean, they didn't allow 150 rushing yards to their starting running back like they had been, but at the same time, TCU didn't have as many opportunities to run the football, so we were able to hide that weakness a little bit better. Intersagen has his best game overall, not just that pick 6, but he did a whole bunch of things for this Baylor defense, and every facet of the game just played great. Our first special teams touchdown of the year, 2 defensive touchdowns, and while the offense did have those 2 interceptions in the first half, after that they settled in, they ran the ball, they did what they were going to do best, and that is be one of the best rushing teams in the nation. And we got 2 commits here to fill out some of the depth on this team, and Logan Intersagen, he wins Player of the Week in the entire nation. A spectacular performance, and Basanes at tight end is going to be just a blocking number 2 guy, so nothing spectacular to talk about here, but we really do want to have a blocking tight end just for, the vast amount of running that we do. So he'll be a nice number 2. And then Josh Okafor at safety. I don't know if I really project him to be a long-term starter, but maybe he can hit that point if the opportunity and the development ever does come. But he'll be a nice depth piece for this team. We have gotten most of our heavy hitters in this recruiting class, so we're going to be pretty happy with what we get after this, and we're going to try to keep some spots available for the transfer portal. But everything's looking really good for this Baylor recruiting class. Our heavy hitters are here, and they're going to be on the team next season. And then whatever else we get, we're going to be chilling with. We're going to be happy filling out the depth of this team. We're not losing that many players, to graduation this year. Only about a dozen players are going to be leaving. So it's going to be a pretty stacked roster in terms of the quantity of players. So we're going to have to be cutting a decent amount of people, but it's going to be okay. We're going to have a lot of people trying to earn opportunities. And when you got guys like Intersagan having the game he has, he's just a true freshman. Our quarterback is just a true freshman. Our receiver, Tyree Dobbins, true freshman. Tavoris Jones will be back next year. We'll have Ebiselli back next year, and Robinson back next year. Spencer Fano. Like, this team is going to be a lot better in the continuity side of things, where last year we lost so many players. It's a completely new team from last year. We're going to have the continuity next year. So everything is kind of lining up very nicely. And we are 1 win away from bowl eligibility. Baylor hasn't been to a bowl game in a couple of years, so 1 win away. And our next game, if we're going to get bowl eligibility in our next game, it's going to be really difficult because we're taking on the hardest opponent that we will be taking on all season. Even the Tennessee team has nothing on the opponent that we have up next. We're on the road. Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns, who are undefeated and one of the top-ranked teams in the entire nation, are looking to continue on their undefeated season as they make their quest for a national championship behind probably what's going to end up being one of the best QB prospects in recent history. Baylor is going to have a big-time problem on their hands, and they got a game plan ready. It's going to be Arch Manning's arm versus Josh Beckett's legs. And who will prevail? Will Baylor pull off another monumental upset this season? Beckett in the offense on the field first. They're going to start with a read option, and here goes the legs of Beckett starting off the game. 10 yards, make it 15 and 16 yards and out of bounds. Beckett now back to the line shotgun, and we're going to go left side now, and here goes Josh Beckett, and that's another chunk run, and Beckett has a double-digit yarder again. Now it's going to be pistol formation, and Beckett gets the block, and he's going to run it again, gets another one down the field, and Josh Beckett, it's goal to go. 3 carries and about 70 yards on the ground, and now on the first down and goal play, Beckett, QB draw keeper, gonna get it to the 1-yard line, and just when you think Texas is thinking they're not gonna do it again, yes they will, and the game plan has been executed perfectly. Baylor up 7-0, and you just keep using the one thing that you have that is maybe better than any team in the nation, and that's the legs of your quarterback. Now Arch Manning having to silence things a little bit on the Baylor sidelines. They got the crowd on their side, and they're trying to get them back into the game. Manning to throw it, and he's got great pocket movement, and that's going to be caught for a first down, but this play is coming back. It's going to be a flag on the play, and Matthew Golden's big-time grab is going to be brought back with a holding call, and Baylor with an opportunity to get off the field here for some major momentum with the ball in the lead, but it's going to be Arch Manning for the big-time completion, moving the chains, 35-yard line, play action Manning. Rolling out, throwing, and he's got the tight end underneath. That's Nyblack, and that's going to be a first down grab. And the catch and run gets him close to the red zone. Now 3rd down and 9, Manning. He's got a clean pocket, and he's going to throw underneath. That's going to be Cook, and John Tate Cook breaking a tackle, and he gets it to the 1-yard line, where Texas trying to tie this game up. 1st and goal, handing it off, and Baxter finishes the drive, and Texas doesn't let Baylor get away with that first drive, and it's 7-7, 2nd down and 5 to Boris Jones on the ground, and finally a run that isn't from Beckett. They're going to get themselves a first down though, and Beckett to the air here, 2nd down and 13, throwing it, and that's going to be short underneath for Boris Jones, who's been getting the ball more and more. 2nd down and 10, man in motion, empty backfield, throwing the screen for Michael Trigg, and Trigg running over a man. He's got the first down, but a flag on the play, and now it's Baylor's turn to have a big play get set back with a holding call. It's going to be 3rd down and long. Play action, and Beckett, nowhere to go. He is sacked, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for Texas now. And that's going to be a little jet pass to Matthew Golden, and great patience, and Matthew Golden, he found the lane, he found the line, and he found the end zone. Matthew Golden on the first play, 1 and done. Texas 14-7. And Baylor, they got that one big drive, but let's see if they can do anything else, and that's going to be a big one to Michael Trigg for the first and past midfield enemy territory. 1st and 10, play action. Beckett over the middle, that's going to be caught in traffic, and Baylor is not going to let Texas just mow them down, and they're not going to lay down. They're going to throw outside, incomplete, 4th down and 9, and a field goal try on the way. The kick is no good, just barely curves left, and Texas now with an opportunity to start getting themselves a big time lead, because it's not going to be easy to stop this Texas offense. Already moving the chains here. How are you going to stop Arch Manning? How are you going to stop Baxter? How are you going to stop Golden? How are you going to stop all these playmakers when you're playing arguably the best team in the nation and you're at this big of a talent disadvantage? You're going to need almost a perfect game, it feels like. And Baylor is going to need Texas to make mistakes, but it's not going to be easy to see a team like Texas making mistakes. Manning, 3rd down. He's got nowhere to go with the football, and that's going to be huge. Baylor gets a stop here and an opportunity to maybe get some momentum if they can go on a long drive and get into the half, maybe with a tie game. That's ultimately going to be the goal. If he could stay in the fight and prey on some mistakes, you may have a chance here. Morris Jones on the outside, jumping to 3rd and 2, and the heavy package is back. Baylor now with the sweep, and there goes Beckett, and he's going to have the edge, and he's got the speed that very few have. 1st down Baylor, and you could probably count on one hand the amount of quarterbacks that can make a play like that. And Trigg now on the outside for a catch and run. Baylor now in the red zone, 2nd down and 4, and Baylor drawing up that keeper, and Beckett to the outside. He's got the edge, he's got the marker, and 1st and goal. It quickly turns to 3rd and goal. Speed option, we got a lead blocker in front. Beckett pitches it out, and that's going to be just shy, but Baylor's obviously going for a heavy package, and Beckett, he leaps in, he dives over everybody, and the touchdown is scored. Baylor ties it up, and now it is going to be a minute and a half to play, and if you can get this to halftime in a tie game, you might have something here. Manning underneath, he's got Baxter. He had a lot of time in the pocket. The pass rush just hasn't been as prevalent because you got one of the best offensive lines in college football blocking you, and now a big play to Cook, now in enemy territory, 34-yard line, 3rd down and 5. Manning just throwing a dart over the middle, and that's going to be Matthew Golden, and continuing to move the ball down the field. Manning, and that's going to be a drop pick, and you need to capitalize on those. 3rd down and 1. Manning, very next play, gets it into the end zone, and the drop pick, it's a costly one, but now just a couple of seconds left in the half. Baylor on 3rd down, hit as they're throwing incomplete, and now Texas just has a couple of seconds to play. They're going to hand it off to Baxter, who's going to get brought down, but they're about the 35-yard line. Manning is just going to load up and throw a deep ball. Why not? Manning is going to heave one deep, and he's got a strong arm. That ball near the end zone. It's tipped and caught, and touchdown Texas. Matthew Golden, are you kidding me? Hail Mary, 65 yards, and all the air out of this Baylor sideline has been drained. A tip ball, and Golden just swoops in, steals it, and Texas suddenly 14-point lead with the ball in the second half. Manning trying to go for a kill shot, testing it, Ersagan, who swats it away. Now 2nd down turns to 3rd down, 3rd and 5. Manning to throw it, another clean pocket, just no pass rush, and when you give a high-level quarterback that much time to throw, it's just impossible to stop. Baxter on the handoff, and they got a big lane up the middle, and Baxter takes him to just about the red zone. Now at about the 21-yard line, it's going to be 3rd down and 12. Manning to throw it, and finally some pass rush gets in. It's going to be incomplete, and Texas will try a field goal for a 3-score lead. The kick is good. Baylor You need points on this drive if you're going to have a chance. This game is not going to continue much longer if you can't get the ball into the end zone, and Baylor knows that. Maybe a risky call, maybe it's too early to go for it on 4th down, but they're trying to play to win, and they know they're going to need stuff going their way, but not when that happens. Incomplete. Manning in the offense with play action on great field position. Got it to Golden, who's had just a spectacular game. 1st down, handing it off, Baxter spinning through, touchdown Texas, and this game might have been blown wide open, and Baylor now in desperation mode. It is still a 3-score game, 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions, and from here on out, it's 4 downs to go, and on 3rd down, back-to-back 3rd down conversions, gotta get it down the field. Basically, if you can't score a touchdown on this drive, it's all over, and Trigg on the outside got it for a completion for the 1st down marker, 40-yard line. Baylor moving it a little better than in recent drives. And there's Trey Bender. And Trey Bender past the 20, breaking a tackle, spinning through, and getting it to the 12-yard line. Baylor now, 2nd down. Beckett, he's going to tuck and run. And Beckett slides down short of the marker. It's 3rd down and 2. Obviously, 4-down territory here. You hand it to DeVorce Jones. It's short, 4th and inches. And here comes that heavy package. And it's going to be Beckett, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game, and Beckett having a career day on the ground, but you need this 2-point conversion. Back to the heavy package and a little speed option. Beckett tries to cut it inside. He can't do it. It's an 18-point game, and Manning now 1st and 10, throwing over the middle, just throwing darts, throwing lasers, and Matthew Golden is just uncoverable right now. 4th quarter is here, and Baylor needing something to go their way. Texas has not made a mistake. They've had luck on their side even. 1st and 10, throwing one out, and there's another big play, getting them to just about the 10-yard line. And Texas trying to just put the dagger in this one. This Baylor team's been fighting hard, but not hard enough. The talent of Texas just too much. And Baylor now down by 25 points. And Beckett throwing an interception. And it's going to be all Texas in this one right now. A couple of little plays left. Baylor gets the football back with under 2 to play. They throw one underneath for Tyree Dobbins, just trying to get something just to maybe go into next week with. At that point, when you're down by 25, you're just looking for something positive. And Beckett, that's a really nice run, making a man miss even when you're spying him. It's still hard to stop. Beckett throwing one out. That's going to be Trey Bender, and a touchdown here to make it look a little bit closer. But that's ultimately going to be game. And it just really felt like once that Hail Mary happened, that was really it. I mean, Baylor had played a close game, had a great game plan to start, had it 14-14. Yeah, Texas, put up a touchdown, went into the half, seemingly up by 7. But once that Hail Mary happens and you go into half up by 14 with the ball, if it was a 1-score game, you might have felt like you have a chance and you have some momentum, you have some confidence on your side. But when you're playing a team like Texas, you need them to make mistakes. You need to get a little bit lucky. And when you have that big of a talent disparity between the two teams, and seemingly luck is also on their side, it just felt like an unwinnable situation. But I felt like this Baylor team, they fought hard and they tried their best. I can't sit here and act like they got smacked around and got dominated like Texas had been doing to the rest of their opponents this season. They fought hard. And Josh Beckett proved that he was really special. Caden Jenkins, obviously, for those who watched season 1, you remember how good Caden Jenkins was, and we miss him. But, he's going to be out there for Texas doing his thing, and he had a solid game against us. So, unfortunate. But we dropped to 5-5 on the season. We got 2 games left, though. We just need to win 1 to get to bowl eligibility. And I mean, UTSA is going to be our best chance to get there because our final game of the season is against the top 20 Kansas State team that is also really good. Obviously not to the level of Texas, but we knew this back part of our schedule was really difficult facing Kansas State and facing Texas. And, TCU wasn't supposed to be, as smoothly as that went. So we're happy to come out there, get that win over TCU and snap that 8-game losing streak to them. But this UTSA game is the most gettable game on our back part of the schedule. So if we can't win this one to get the bowl eligibility, it makes that Kansas State one a must win. And I can't express how disappointing it would be if we would come out here and only win 5 games this season, because I felt like this team has been significantly better than they were last season, where we only won 4 games. So this UTSA game is a massive one. Thankfully, we're back at home, and thankfully, we don't have to face Arch Manning this time. We welcome UTSA to our home, where last time these two teams faced, it was week 1 of last season. The first ever game in this series, and it was not pretty. It was not good. Baylor got smacked around by this UTSA team, embarrassed, and it really exposed a lot of the flaws that this team would go on to have last season. But we are back here, and it's been a while, and this team is a lot different than they were last time. Now on the verge of bowl eligibility, this Baylor team tries to come out here and seal the deal and get themselves into another game this season. And Baylor starts it on offense, 3rd down, Beckett to throw, and he's got his man. It's going to be Trey Bender, and Trey Bender has been a very nice piece to this offense, someone that we are so excited to have for the future of this team. And now throwing, hit as he's thrown, and Baylor's going to have to give this ball to a man who shredded us last season. It is Luke McCown, son of Josh McCown, former NFL quarterback, who will be out here trying to replicate what he did last year, and he's got a good start to him, as it's going to be moving it down to the 49-yard line, 2nd down and 9. The lefty throwing it down the field, and that's going to be jumping up and making the catch. Their new number 1 wide receiver, Jace Wilson, making a spectacular grab, but it's already 3rd and goal. Baylor's defense forcing incompletion after incompletion, and UTSA having to settle for a field goal. So Baylor does a good job bending and not breaking. It's 3-0 Roadrunners, as Baylor has it with a big-time sweep to the running back, Morris Jones, who's really just emerged as the dominant getter of the carries. About 90% of the carries in the backfield go to him. Throwing one up top, one-on-one to Michael Trigg, and he's got it. Trigg at the 10-yard line. Now this Baylor offense will let him finish the drive. Touchdown, Baylor, and Michael Trigg has really emerged as one of the most productive tight ends in college football. It's going to be sad to see him leave after this season, as it's going to be a sack here. Samuel Pemba, someone we are thrilled to have had gotten in the transfer portal. And how about another transfer portal player getting the safety? It's Caden Curry, former Ohio State edge rusher. Both those guys have played phenomenal this season. So a big play for Tyree Dobbins is going to get called back, but it is 9-3 advantage Baylor, who has the ball on offense, and they're going to be backed up very long here. 3rd down and 23, and Beckett, does he got something big here? No, he does not. Incomplete pass, so another holding penalty derails a possession for us. UTSA with great field position and a sweep to Rocco Griffin on the edge, who has a nice chunk carry here to the 30-yard line, and now just inside, 2nd down and 7. It's going to be another sweep. Rocco is going to go for another 1st down, and in the red zone. And this run game starting to have some issues again, as McCown will throw it. He's got it incomplete. And they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Kick on the way, and it's no good. Baylor gets bailed out there by a missed kick. It's 9-3 still, as Dawson Pendergrass, rare carry for him, gets us to 4th and inches. But a review is going to look to be an overturn call. It's going to be a 1st down for Baylor, so they get the beneficiary of that refereeing, as Beckett will cut inside. It's going to be 4th down and 5, and they're going to punt the football away. They're going to trust their defense that has played pretty decently so far, and they're going to get a 3-and-out here. So trusting the defense was a good idea. Playing the field position game works out. It's going to be midfield starting field position for us as we throw one outside, and that's going to be caught. What a throw on the run from Beckett on now play action, trying to follow it up with another big one, and that's going to be incomplete. Trying to put one up for Dobbins, can't do it. 3rd down and 10, another play action, as Beckett will throw, and just no one there. It's just in between a whole bunch of players, defenders, and Michael Trigg. Field goal on the way, and that's another miss. So another game with another missed field goal. He missed one at Texas, now missing one against UTSA. But here comes Samuel Pemba flying off the edge, unblocked, and setting up a 3rd down and 9. It's going to be McCown. He's going to get sacked again, and it's Caden Curry. Pemba and Curry trying to fight to see who could be the better pass rusher this game. They both got 2 sacks, and now Beckett throwing one deep on 3rd down. It's going to be incomplete. Baylor's offense hasn't really done a whole lot here as we're in the 2nd half, but it hasn't really needed to, despite some nice carries from Rocco Griffin. UTSA's got 3 points, and their pass rush has been dominating so far, but Griffin, another big carry here. They're going to get into enemy territory, 46-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and long. Baylor just watching as he's got a lot of time, but no one's open, throwing it away. Baylor is going to take over, but they're in 3rd down, and they're going to throw one out to Bonner. It's going to be charted as a run, but it doesn't matter, run or pass. It is a 1st down, and Baylor just trying to get something going on offense. They've kind of struggled so far. It's been the defense being the difference maker, and how about a difference-making run from Josh Beckett, who is going to watch his team on 3rd down and 11. Throw one over the middle, and it's not going to be caught. Dropped off the hands of Trigg. But the field goal is going to be good this time around. Baylor's got a 12-3 lead now, a 2-score game, as UTSA's got to do something on the offensive side of the football. But Baylor rallying to the football and forcing a phenomenal stop here. They're going to take the football over, and Josh Beckett is going to have a big run. And Josh Beckett just using his legs whenever we need a big play. Now 3rd down and 4, throwing one for Dobbins, and it's incomplete. And now they're going to go for it on 4th down. They really want to just get something going. They don't want to be complacent here. And that's going to be a big-time throw on the run in the face of pressure. And we're going to convert here. 3rd down again now. This time we're going to go for an end zone shot. That ball's just going to sail out of bounds, and it's at least going to set up a nice field goal try. So Baylor, I mean, it was risky to go for it. You're up by 2 scores, and your offense isn't really doing much. But that's the faith that this team is having in their star players and their biggest and best that they have to offer, and the defense once again does a spectacular job. They're still only allowing 3 points. Beckett's not going to do anything here, and now you're kind of in the position where you're just trying to play safe football and not trying to give anything away and make any mistakes. I mean, I think at this point you kind of understand that the offense just isn't going to do anything this game, and it's just going to be up to the defense to try to hold things together and hold this lead. And obviously it's not something we expected to have to lead on our defense late in the season with how bad they played in certain games, but I mean, they played well against TCU, had a couple of touchdowns. I'm not going to hold the Texas game, against them that much, but now against UTSA, phenomenal job so far. UTSA trying to get this to a 1-score game. It's 4th down. McCown looking to throw, but just no one is open, and another sack. The 5th of the game for Baylor, and now they're in that 4-minute offense. Just try to get the ball, convert 1st downs, move the chains, grind it out, and if they can make sure that UTSA doesn't see this football again, they'd be very happy, and they'd be on their way to a bowl game. Now another play to get a 1st down. Trey Bender underneath. Now clock is ticking. 2 minutes to go, just about. Tavoris Jones moving the chains again, and Jones with the 1st down. Now in enemy territory. 2-minute warning has hit. Beckett, free rusher off the edge, but he's just going to float one out there, and that's a great job just being calm under pressure and tossing one out now. Tavoris Jones to seal the game, and he's got the 1st down. And Baylor, it wasn't a pretty game. It wasn't what Baylor has been accustomed to this season, but the sign of a team that is growing is being able to adjust and adapt in certain situations. This has been a high-flying offense so far, a very dominant ground game at times. But if you would have told us that we would be able to score 15 points and win a game with how this defense started the season and continued throughout the season, we wouldn't have believed you. But the fact that we can now have a game where we can put up 15 points and not everything can click and we can still come out here with a victory. This team's growing, they're getting better, and they're really starting to figure things out. If you could figure things out on the defensive side of the football and you have Samuel Pemba and Caden Curry just double teaming for 5 sacks basically, I mean, that can be a winning formula that we also can add to our game. The pass rush was awesome. The coverage held up. The rushing defense is still an issue, but if you're putting teams in situations where they have to throw the football, then it doesn't really matter because they're not going to be able to run the football. You can let them run for 100 yards all you want. They're eventually going to need to drop back and throw, and if you're sacking them, dropping them into situations where they're going to have to convert 3rd and longs, you're playing clock control offense because you can run the football for over 100 yards every single game with any given player, whether it's Beckett or Tavoris Jones. We have winning formulas, and that is important to have. So I really felt like that this was a game where this team showed some of their growth. And I think that now bowl eligibility has been acquired. We're going into a game against the ranked Kansas State team. We got nothing to lose here. We got our bowl game. We got nothing to lose. Let's play to try to win this game. If the difference between 6-6 and 7-5 ain't really all that much for us because a bowl game's a bowl game. We're happy to be there. But now let's go out here, final game of the season, and try to pull off an upset. At 9-2, Kansas State is on the outside looking in for the playoffs, but with a win here against Baylor, they can find themselves potentially in the mix to get one of those playoff bids, especially with how the madness of college football, goes down the final week of the season and conference championship weekend. This is a must-win game for Kansas State if they want to make the playoffs. Baylor, on the other hand, they got nothing to lose. They've locked up their bowl game. They're not competing for a conference championship or anything, obviously. So they're going to come out here on the road and play to win this game and play aggressive and play their game. They're going to be heavy on going for it on fourth down, heavy blitzing, heavy to try to make plays and spoil Kansas State's season. They're already off to a good start with 2 nice double-digit yard plays and 2 first downs, throwing one up top on third down, though. It's going to be incomplete, so Baylor, decent movement on their first possession, but it gets them no points, and Avery Johnson already is going to get sacked and pick it up right where they left off. Baylor is just dominating in the passing game right now. Their defense is spectacular so far these last 5 quarters, basically. Tavoris Jones now, great field position and a great run, making a man miss. We're so excited for what Tavoris Jones and Josh Beckey can bring when they're on the team next year. But how about another guy who's going to be the future of this team? It's Tyree Dobbins up in the end zone. Touchdown, Bears, and Dobbins with one of his biggest plays. And it's going to be a full start for Kansas State. And they're a little rattled. Baylor's come out here and straight up punched him in the face. And now they got to try to respond here. Playoff hopes are on the line for K-State. And now they're going to get sacked again. And another big sack, driving them back. Third down, Johnson is going to be intercepted. And that's Jeremy Evans, the linebacker, taking it. And Baylor inside the 30-yard line now. And they're playing spectacular defense. Kansas State's not even in the positive for yardage. Beckett is going to go and run it for a fourth down play, setting up 4th and 2. Like we said, we're going for it here. Sweeping Jones just has nowhere to go, though, and Baylor's going to turn the football over. So that interception's going to net us nothing. But we are still riding high here as Giddens is going to have a big run. But the flag is out. And this one's coming back. Kansas State's only good play so far. It's being called back right now. So how about derailing a possession potentially? It's 3rd down and Johnson throwing. And he's got a big time grab. That's going to be Jace Brown, their top receiver. And finally something going their way. But jumping ahead, it's 3rd down and long again. And the pressure is going to get in. Curry, Pemba combining. And K-State punts it. Handoff to Tavoris Jones. He's got 11 and a first down. Man in motion. They're going to just keep it. Beckett on the outside. He's going to get a block, and he's going to have great patience, great cutting, and the burst to just shoot through the hole. He is just like a running back when it comes to his ability to just shoot through the hole and have the patience to find the lane. He has another first down carry there. 3rd down, Beckett. Is he going to run it again? No, he's going to try to use his arm, throwing one up, and that's going to be intercepted and got a little bit too greedy. And Baylor's ultra-aggressive style of play for this game, it's helping them and hurting them at the same time with some 4th down shenanigans and throwing the ball up. I mean, they got the touchdown to Dobbins throwing one up, but that time it turns them over, and now Giddens on the handoff. There's another flag on the play, and they're going to have a big run, but this one is coming back. And Kansas State, I don't think they really expected this from Baylor. They did not expect Baylor to come out here and play this aggressively. They're going to be dropping to throw on 3rd down and long. Finally, some protection, but nobody's open. And Steve Clinton, the freshman safety, gets the interception. And that's 2 already. And now 2nd quarter is ticking down. This has been a fast-moving game so far. And when you're wide open, Michael Trigg, touchdown Bears. What a first half for this team. 14-0, and K-State needing something. Play action from Johnson, throwing one, and Carl Williams has it intercepted. The 3rd of the first half, and Baylor forces another turnover. And Baylor now 3rd down and 9. Beckett stepping up. He's going to run it, and Beckett gets short of the marker, 4th down and 2. And we're not letting off the gas pedal. Another 4th down try here, and this one's also going to get stopped. So we're 0-2 on 4th down. and gave Kansas State an opportunity to make a play, but they're not going to make one with a sack there. Intersocket on the nickel blitz gets him, and now on 3rd and long, you got protection, but you got nobody open. It's one or the other. Either you get pass rush or you get protection. Baylor on 3rd down and long. They're going with a little wildcat trickery here, trying to do something to catch the K-State team off guard, but they're going to kick the football away, and you're just going to have to try to hold with 30 seconds. And Johnson now getting into desperation mode, trying to just force something to try to get some points before the half. And Johnson, he's got an open man up the sidelines, and Jace got it, and they're going to at least get a field goal try. Kick on the way, and good. K-State, that's the only thing they have to bank on right now. That's the only thing they have to just enjoy going into halftime, is just those 3 points. And with your playoff hopes on the line, they've come out flat. Baylor with the football back, 2nd down and 2. Beckett, he's got the edge, and he's got the 1st down, just so fast, so athletic. And now 2nd down and 3. Beckett underneath. That's going to be caught by Michael Shrake for the 1st down. Continue to move those chains, and Beckett now is 3rd and long in the play action. Beckett got a lot of people in his face. That's 3 people chasing him. He's outrunning them. He's throwing on the run. Double coverage. Intercepted. And Beckett kind of reverting back to early season, Josh. And you can't really make plays like that, especially with Kansas State trying to not give them an opportunity to get back in the game. 2 guys get in, though. It's another sack. Screen now. They just need to get some quick offense, and they're going to get a nice play on this screen, but it was 3rd and so long that they're not going to be able to get the first. Punting the football away. Baylor's offense has not done anything spectacular so far, but they're playing just so aggressive, and they're eventually hitting some big plays. Now Beckett, 3rd down and 7. He's going to step and run, and he's got the 1st down into scoring position, trying to get back to that full 14-point lead. But we'd love to put the nail in the coffin on this one, because with Kansas State's inability to move the football, it's going to be hard to believe that they can put up 3 scores if we go up by 3. And now with under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, Beckett handing it off, and there goes Tavoris Jones on the edge, and Jones got it to the 6. Goal to go. 2 running backs standing next to Beckett. We go play action. Pendergrass into blocking. He got a lot of room on the outside. Rerouting, and that's a touchdown. Baylor, and Baylor got another one, and another play that's just a dagger to the heart of K-State, who is just unable to do anything. Another sack. Everyone's just getting in on this party right now, and this is looking like prime Saxonville with this absolute dominating pass rush. We are over double-digit sacks in these last 2 games combined, and Johnson nowhere to go with the football. Desperation heave, and he's finally got a miracle play and some luck on his side, but he's taking hits left and right. Giddens running over a man, but we got another one there. You can't break every tackle. This defense is swarming and playing harder than ever. 4th down, last opportunity maybe, and the play is made. And Baylor, with under 5 to play, is just suffocating this team. Beckett is going to be rolling out, throwing one incomplete, but it doesn't matter. His defense is squeezing the life out of this Wildcat team, and now Johnson's rattled. He's missing easy throws. It's 4th down, another shot. They're just going to run the football. They don't even trust Johnson, but it doesn't matter who gets the ball. Baylor's going to stop them, and Beckett, read option, got a couple of nice blocks. The receivers are blocking hard. I've never seen this team fight this hard and try this hard. The effort, the blocking, the hustling, everything is on point. And this team came out here motivated to spoil the hopes and dreams of Kansas State, and they are doing exactly that. And with 3 minutes to play, Baylor threatening to score again, and Beckett from the split shotgun's got a lot of room, and there's 2 wide open receivers. Pick your poison, and he picks Bonner for the touchdown, and Baylor 28-3, and just this game is over in Kansas State. How about we get another sack? And that is going to give Baylor the football back again. Richard Reese having a nice run. Probably one of the final big plays in Richard Reese's Baylor career. And that's game. This is a stunning result. Kansas State, playing for playoff hopes potentially, goes out there at home and gets absolutely steamrolled by Baylor, who punched them in the mouth to start this game, sacked Avery Johnson a whole bunch of times, and there was just nothing that they could do. And this is a monumental victory to close the season. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't do a whole lot when it comes to, conference championship, or maybe as a result, we're going to get a bit better of a bowl game, but just the fact that this defense played so well these last couple of weeks, I mean, you just take out the Texas game, which it's Arch Manning and one of the best teams in the nation. I mean, TCU stifled 2 defensive touchdowns. UTSA couldn't do anything. Kansas State sacked them like 8 times. What a job from this Baylor defense to close this year. They were the real question mark of this team, and they were the concern. And looks like they're not as much of a concern maybe anymore. They go out and finish the season strong. We were kind of hitting down the line 2-2 in the first episode of the season, 2-2 in the next. It was looking maybe like 2-2 again. We'd beat the teams that maybe we can have a shot at beating and then lose to the ranked teams. But no, we go out there and we beat Kansas State. And to add on top of that, you're looking at Tyrese Braga, an offensive lineman that we were able to pick up and add to our collection of offensive linemen that we are trying to bring in. I mean, this is a team that is very imperative to have offensive line, more so than maybe other teams, because we have a little bit of a reckless playmaking quarterback, and we are a very, run-heavy team right now, especially with our backfield being as prevalent as it is with Reese and Jones and, other backs that we're continuing to bring in. This team is trying to use multiple running backs and get multiple guys in. And then you got Josh Beckett, who is running for about a dozen touchdowns. And, if it wasn't for the sacks, taken away from rushing yards, probably would have been a 1,000-yard rusher this season. So just a great job from Baylor to close this season. And I really feel like us splitting this season into thirds like we do, you really seen the growth of this team from, stage 1 to 2 to 3. In stage 1, the passing defense was brutal, and Beckett was turning the football over a lot. And then things came together in the Tennessee game. Then in stage 2, Beckett played cleaner, only turned the football over, and threw 3 interceptions in 4 games. And, some things were starting to look a little bit better on offense, but the run defense was hurting us. Now in stage 3, the run defense was not perfect, but it was better. The pass defense was unbelievable, and while the passing game and some of the high-flying aspects of our offense did take maybe a step down a little bit, still really good. Beckett was spectacular on the ground. Tavoris Jones really got going to close this season, and we turned into a team where we could just play keep away. We play keep away, get a 1 or 2 score lead, and then just let Pemba and Curry and all these other guys just tee off and unload. And look what happens here. We find ourselves at 7-5, having some really great wins to close this season. And let's move things along and see who's going to be our opponent. How about another receiver, too, to add to our collection? Damian Bostic and Harvey Hyde are going to be players that are going to be joining us. So let's take a quick look at these guys before we get into our bowl matchup. Bostic, a really nice 3-star wide receiver, 6'5", just a physical go-up-and-get-it type of guy. And, even though we got some height in our receiving core with guys like Gibbs and Tyree Dobbins, those guys are 6'2", 6'3". How about a 6'5", just go up and make a play type of receiver to have as some depth? He could be something too. He's got a lot of raw abilities, just need to maybe get that acceleration and get some other aspects of him up, but he could be a nice player for us. And then Harvey Hyde, for as much as this team does like to run the football, we do want to find someone who could be a lockdown pass protector for us. I mean, Spencer Fano on the outside on the right side has been so awesome for us and has been such a non-issue compared to some of the other holding calls. He doesn't have a single holding call on him. He's just been an absolute rock for us. So, I mean, we're going to just hope that Hyde can maybe bulk up, get a little bit stronger, but he has the, the technical ability to be something good as a pass protecting right tackle down the line. But for Baylor, this season will end in the Las Vegas Bowl at Allegiant Stadium, home of the Raiders, in a Las Vegas Bowl matchup against Maryland, who also was a 7-win team. In the next episode, we will be going through this bowl game, playing it, saying goodbye to some of our players, recapping the season, and going into the off season where a lot of movement, a lot of development will be taking place. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you all think and how everything kind of turned out. A strong finish to the season and how the defense really stepped up. Let me know what you're thinking for this bowl game and the future of this team and how excited you are maybe for the offseason and how some of these players are going to continue to grow. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, as all that stuff is super helpful and super much appreciated as I continue to get this series out. and I will see you guys all in the next one.